recently you had Joe Budden on the show, and at one point things went kind of left.
Joe, you got the album coming out, correct? Huh? I'm asking you a question. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Almost befuddled.
All right, so befuddled. Anyway, let me explain to you what happened. All right, so Taxstone is here. He's interviewing Joe Budden, and towards the end of the interview, he asks Joe like, "Yo, Joe, you got the album coming out, correct?" And so Joe gives him this look like, "Huh?" That's because Joe's album already came out 2 weeks prior to the interview. So Taxstone didn't do his research. And so that's why Joe Budden is looking at him like he's a little crazy. Or in other words, retarded, whatever you want to say. But yeah.
This is like,
What are you
I wish I
befuddled
could
about?
just like watch you for like a day.
Wow. I just asked you a question and you fucking talking. What are you talking about, my nigga?
You're pretty.
All right, so as you can see, Taxstone is getting pissed off because he's like, yo, why is this dude playing mind games with me, son? What's wrong with him? Like, just answer the question. But continue to watch.
Interesting.
Yo, what's wrong with this dude, son?
Because I think you're interesting. I'm just saying, I think you're interesting.
Yo, what is wrong with this dude, son? Yo!
Why are you screaming in the mic?
Because I asked you a fucking question, my nigga. What are you talking about, son?
All right, so as you can see, Joe Budden has this psychological thing where he'll unintentionally piss someone off, but pretend like nothing's going on. Like, he'll act calm. He'll talk in a low, like, normal voice like this and, you know, be like, yo, why you screaming? So Taxstone is already getting pissed off, like, yo, like, what's up with you? Like, just answer the question. You know, it's not that difficult. Why are you being a douchebag? This is what's going on in Taxstone's mind. But what he doesn't realize is simply the fact that this dude has already had his album out for 2 weeks, and you're asking him like, yo, what's up? It's like, you got to do research on the person that you're interviewing, you know?
What's wrong with this dude?
No.
No what? What is he talking about?
Are you going to continue to scream in this
I'm
mic?
asking you a question. What is wrong with you, son?
Are you going to continue to scream in this
I'm
mic?
asking you a question. What is wrong with you, son?
Okay, we should end this.
No, Joe, what projects do you have going on right now?
What the fuck is wrong with this nigga, son?
We should end this, though.
Nah,
Ready?
son. This nigga's crazy, son. Let's end this shit.
You good?
I'm asking this nigga a fucking question.
All right, so by this point, Taxstone is like, yo, that's it. I'm over. Get out. You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? You know, so Joe is a smart dude. Like, yo, he's not the dude that you can easily intimidate. You know what I'm saying? He's just a guy who'll put you in your place without trying to be loud or boisterous or anything like that. He knows how to shut you down with his demeanor, and he does it with class. And so when some people are around that, they kind of get a little bit frustrated. It's like, yo, you trying to play me? Like, answer the question. But we're gonna find out the reason why Taxstone was a little bit irritated.
All right, that was tax season.
Stop playing that fucking therapist shit with me, son. Like, don't do that.
You see what I'm saying? Like, yo, Joe already knows the mind tricks already. Like, he knows, like, you see how this dude is like, yo, don't play that therapy stuff with me, man. Like, everybody already knows how Joe rolls. So it's like, yo, Joe may be a cool cat to talk to when you guys are on Instagram and all that, but it's like, when it's time to get down to business, he's not that type of guy. You know what I mean? And the thing is that you can have fun with people outside, but when it comes to dealing with business, you know, whether it's on the radio or television, you end up having to switch. And the thing is that you gotta code switch. You know what I mean? You gotta code switch. That's just how it is.
Having me tax, I
These niggas
appreciate
is
you,
retarded, son.
We should end
Come
this.
on.
Thank you so
The
much.
fuck, son? What type of shit is this, son? What type of shit?
Thank you for inviting me
What is
here.
wrong with this dude?
I tax.
Oh, I'm confused.
I appreciated the
I'm
opportunity.
confused. Like, son, come on,
And
son.
I'm gonna
I
go.
can't believe
Yeah.
y'all don't know each other. Y'all.
What is wrong with this retarded? This nigga's retarded, y'all.
So explain to me what led up to
All
you.
right, so this this is Taxstone sitting down on Vlad TV. So he's gonna explain why he went off the way that he did. Check this out.
Looking Joe Budden and what exactly happened in that whole situation from your point of view.
Well, Joe, you know, me and Joe followed each other on Twitter, so like we always like joke with each other. Like I appreciate his humor. So, you know, we got like mutual friends. So I told him, I'm like, I want Joe Budden on the show. So I told him to tell him, and like they didn't tell him. Like they like I guess people felt like we had beef or some shit because we both got podcasts. So I hit him myself, and I was like, yo, come up to my show. So he was like, all right, when? I gave him the date, and he came through.
You see right there, when I told you guys about joking, right? I mistakenly said Instagram, but I meant Twitter. It's one thing for you to be talking with another personality and y'all are joking. Now, he said that he appreciated this dude's humor, but I'm not sure if he's ever seen Love and Hip Hop. Joe is anything but humor when it comes to it, except for the remix he did for Tiger's song, which was unintentional. But Joe was not a comedian, you know. Even when he was up at Hot 97 and Consequence was there, Consequence was shook. Consequence did an interview with 105.1. This is in 2013, right? Then as soon as he saw Joe, he backed up. Joe was like, you know, these people are talking and they're going to continue to talk, and, you know. And it's like, Consequence is the loudest one in the room, like, yeah, nah, you know, Rocky, she be running her mouth. So, you know, I had to go up in there like, I had to unleash the dog. I'm like, chill. But let's continue, because I want you guys to hear this. Let's continue.
You know, everything was cool, like before the interview, and then we started the interview, and I felt like, you know, he didn't want to answer certain questions. And like he answered questions on the Breakfast Club differently than he answered them when he came on my show. So I asked him, did he sit on Esther Baxter's chest or some shit like that? And I asked him a series of questions. He said no, but I just seen him on another interview and he said yes. So I was confused. So I asked him the question in 3 different ways, you know what I mean? And the third time he answered it differently. You know, that's how the police catch you in lies, you know what I mean? So that's like when it got heated, because I was like, yo, man, this dude is just playing. Like, you don't want to give me an interview, you know what I mean? So why you here? So that was like basically what it was. And then he said some shit like, I said something about jail, and then he was like, oh, I'm not really into that. And oh, here he goes with the block talk, with the jail talk. And I'm like, yo, you acting like you some square dude that never been to jail. Like you a dope fiend and get locked up every week and you beat bitches up. You know what I mean? You don't act like
All right, look, Joe may not be the cleanest guy, but as far as I know, he's always treated himself with class. With the ladies, that's a different story. But, you know, he's just up there to do a podcast. And you got to understand, when you decide to interview certain people, you guys got to sit down and talk about, okay, these are the questions that I'm going to ask you. Are you okay with this? If you're not, let me know. If you are, cool. So I don't know if they went over anything. I don't know if they had a certain criteria when they decided to do this, but this ended up being the end result.
you don't know what jail is, you know what I mean?
Okay, so then what happened after that?
Nothing. He just, you know, we were sitting in and like, you know, the energy just started getting thick between us. And then I was getting aggravated. He was like, oh, I think we should leave. And I was like, yeah, I think you should leave. So I was like, get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? He left. That was it.
Okay. Understand that Taxstone did not kick Joe Budden out of his podcast. Joe Budden was like, you know what? I think we should end things here. Because he already saw that it was getting heated. You guys know the situation that happened with Migos in 2017. He didn't really want to be there to do that interview, but he had to. And this particular interview with Joe Budden was done sometime in 2015. I know it's something old, but I just recently started seeing this video back in 2019. But any way that you want to put it or slice it, whatever you want to call it, you got to understand, Joe is a very simple guy. He don't really like to talk much. His thing is like, yo, music, podcast, that's it. I'm done. You know, but I think with Taxstone, he wanted things to go another way. And it just didn't happen for him, you know. And, you know, that's the way that it is. I mean, put it this way. No matter how many times artists or other people come up and try to disrespect Charlamagne the God, he's always able to shut them down with class. Just like he did with Baby when he came up there with his entourage. You know? But he said, like, he was like, yo, did you say that to Wayne? Did you say that to anybody else? Like, yo, why you coming after the radio guy? But, you know, truth is truth and facts are facts. I mean, you know, Joe Budden is not a bad guy. At the same time, he's also that dude that, yo, you really don't want to smoke with him. Put it that way.
That was it. I never spoke to him again. I don't ever want to speak to him again. I don't even want to know nobody. Like, I don't want to know nobody that's like Joe Budden.
Okay, so there's no chance of y'all actually sitting down and working this out.
Nah, it's nothing to work out. I don't have no beef with him or nothing. Like, we ain't got to talk, but I want to see him in person, you know what I mean? Because he said something to me that was like a little, and I'm like, I don't know if you know who you be talking to, you know what I mean? And that's exactly what I was telling him in the interview. Like, yo, I'm not these girls that you be dealing with from these third world countries that don't got that much education.
All right, so if you guys want to hear the full podcast with Taxstone and Joe Budden, make sure that you head over to soundcloud.com. All right, and I'll make sure that I leave the link in the description. Once again, I want to thank you for listening to my commentary. Make sure that you support Gabriel Daniels Productions, and also make sure that you check out the IMC. That's my other Instagram page. All right. Also, make sure to check out the YouTube as well. I'm out. Peace. G-Man Cool 23. You already know.